And we are live. Hello, everyone. Hope you all are doing well on this fine Saturday afternoon. I know I am. Doing a live Q&A to ask me anything about movies, as well as my celebration for hitting 650 subscribers, even though I'm now at 654. Been doing pretty good lately. Let's look at the chat. We've got Austin in the house saying, "Let's go. Congrats, bud. Thanks a lot. Glad to see you're being a great supporter." And we also have StreamYard in the house. Thank you for joining in, StreamYard. Oh, man, I'm so sad right now. Oh, man. But anyway, well, as soon as this thing gets really popular, hopefully we'll be getting a lot of really good questions, not just having to rely on one person to be having to carry this entire stream, because there used to be quite a few of those. If you guys go back far enough in my live streams, you will see that. Okay. I'm gonna do a quick little water break. Stay hydrated, kids. Man, I love water. You got Godzilla in the house saying, "Have you seen the teaser for Alien Romulus?" I have. I took a look at it. I'm going to try and see that one in theaters. It looks like it's going back to the more enclosed and more horror-centric vibe of the first one. And I think that, what's his face? The director, the skirt, I'm looking it up. What is his name? It is Alien Romulus. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh wow, I do have a lot. I have on my watch list. This could get really hard. This is so embarrassing right now. At least I'm doing something, considering I haven't been able to. I don't have too many people in the chat right now, so at least I'm doing something. Oh, here it is. Alien Romulus. Fede Alvarez. Dang it. Okay, yeah, Fede Alvarez. So he looks like he's the right person to do this job of giving us a more horror-centric version of Alien. But hopefully it'll be good, and hopefully it won't be Alien 3 2.0. Okay, there we go. And yes, Godzilla, thank you for that. But it looks like it's gonna be good. I could easily decide not to see in theaters, depending on how the trailer sells me. If the trailer goes really far into like showing me some of the bad stuff, I could accidentally not see in theaters, not knowing if it's gonna be good or bad. But so I can't. Hasta. Hey there, can't watch movies right now for some internet reason, so I can be here. I can't put you in right now because it'll take way too long for me to put you in here. Okay, and Godzilla says he's the director of the Evil Dead remake. I know. I need to get onto that one. The only Evil Dead films I've seen are Army of Darkness and the new one, the Evil Dead Rise. And I loved both. I think Army of Darkness is easily my top 100 of all time. I love that film. This is my boomstick. Oh man, I love that line from Ash. I think we can all admit. Oh, I had. Okay, I think we can all admit that is a really fun film, Army of Darkness. Hasta. Oh, I can just be here in the chat. Oh, yeah, then yes. And also, Hasta, you wanted to put something on your radar to check out? Check out Army of Darkness. Hilarious film. Absolutely gut-busting. One of the funniest films I've seen in my entire life. The effects are horrifically dated, but it's a B movie kind of, so they're kind of making fun of it. So it's a fantastic film. Another quick little water break. Oh, man. We got Frankie saying, hot take, I prefer all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies over every Indiana Jones film except for 3. Oh, no, because On Stranger Tides is nowhere near as good as something like Raiders. Raiders is a perfect film. On Stranger Tides is basically unwatchable. It is a horrific follow-up to Outworld's End, which is a pretty dang good film. My third favorite in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. I believe that they're actually making another one. I don't think Depp is going to be in it. They could put him in here. They could like dump a whole lot of cash on him. But because of that Amber Heard thing, man, he decided not to come back. First he's fired, then he's rehired, then he says no, F you. You didn't support me, man. Also says, hot take, the first Spider-Man is really overrated. Peter literally tries to buy a car to make MJ leave her boyfriend and be with him. It makes no sense. He's a high schooler. We don't make any sense. Frankie, hot take, Stranger Tides is much better than Raiders because I'm not a fan of it. It makes no sense. I mean, yeah, I know. But let's just say there's some weird stuff in the first Spider-Man. There's elements I prefer to 2, but overall I think 1's a little better. It's close. It could change on a rewatch. Whew. But I think we can all agree that the third film is by far the worst in that trilogy. It's okay. Oh boy, we got a bit of a fight going on. Godzilla, when will you watch Master and Commander, The Assassination of Jesse James, The Fountain and the Abyss Special Edition? Whenever I get time. That's almost always my answer. Yikes. But yeah, that's almost always my answer. Also, I slightly prefer the first Spider-Man the first time, but on rewatch, I think 2 is easily better. I'm not going to argue. I'm fine either way. I just think the original one's a little better. It's pretty close, though. I think Haas and you and I can both agree that there's a lot of films in the Spider-Man franchise that are really overrated. I just have the most correct opinion on one of them because I despise it. Oh. But now that we have people in the chat, I am doing this because I was wanting to do something to pass the time before I have to leave for something later, and then and because I'm also doing a celebration for hitting 650 subscribers. Man, I'm doing good. Also, Spider-Man movies are mostly overrated. Not the Andrew Garfield ones. People really do not like those. His are underrated. Andrew's my favorite of the Spider-Man. Hot take, Lion King is widely overrated. I think it's a beautiful movie. I think it's got beautiful animation. I will give you this movie is far better than On Stranger Tides, but I don't love it. As long as you like it more than On Stranger Tides, I'm not going to get furious, but Lion King's my favorite animated film of all time. I adore The Lion King. Oh, wait. Godzilla, how far are you into the Planet of the Apes series? Only seen the first 2. I need to get back on that so I can get done with the Matt Reeves trilogy and get ready for Kingdom. Because Frankie in here, who has seen the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, has said that one's the best, actually. So, and the trailer's been giving me good vibes, so I'm getting ready to be blown away, hopefully. Or I'm getting ready to walk out of that thing having it as the most disappointing film of the year, and then wanting to go and kill Frankie for putting my expectations too high. Oh man, please don't. I need this. Hosta. Andrew is definitely my favorite Spider-Man too. I completely agree. Based on what he's been saying it is, and Kingdom looks beautiful. Frankie, Into the Spider-Verse is my favorite, not Across. Yes, Into is miles better than Across. Into the jokes actually land. Something that Across the Spider-Verse fell flat on its face multiple times. Love water. Water's the drink for kings. Eat your heart out, wine. Whew. Okay. So Hossa says Into and Across are both overrated, but Into is still miles more overrated. No pun intended, but no. Into people now aren't even that big a fan of anymore. Across came in and blew everyone so far away. People are now saying that Into's not even close. So it is not. Into is 10 times better at least than Across. Across is not that good. It's a pretty bad film. Frankie, I still enjoy Across, but some people now saying it's the best superhero movie. Oh no, it's not even the top half of superhero films. I think it's really good. I won't argue that. I think the movie is overrated. The film's not even like the top 50, probably not even the top 100 superhero films. I haven't seen that many superhero films, but I guarantee you it's not. Godzilla, have you seen the Conjuring movies? I've seen I started the first and I've gone like almost halfway. I haven't, and I've gotten almost halfway into Annabelle Creation because Annabelle Creation is the first in the timeline. But I enjoy both so much of what I've gotten into. I got into them. Pasta, didn't think about that pun, lol. Oh, man. But I do think both are overrated. But Into, people are nowhere near as obnoxious about anymore. Somehow people have, everyone before Across the Spider-Verse came out was calling Into like the greatest comic book film of all time. And then Across came out and then people were like, oh yeah, that was last week's news. No one cares about this anymore. No one. Oh man. Frankie. Hack, my favorite Spider-Man movie is still No Way Home. I won't argue with that. I loved it when all three Spider-Man come on the big screen. I love No Way Home. I think that's one that has, of these Spider-Man films, has the most heart to it. And it does give us fan service, but it's fan service done right. The only reason people have been hating on it recently is for attention. You do realize it can ban you, you know. Man, I hate that film. And Hosta, why is it that you have to have a film as unwatchable as Shrek 2 is your favorite animated film, but films like The Lion King is not your favorite animated film? Shrek 2 is debatably one of the worst animated films of all time. And the sad part is, I think it's the best of the sequels. It's either that one or Forever After. Either way, all three of those sequels are rough. The only good film in the Shrek franchise is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is a great film. Other than that, they are all bad to really bad. Frankie, like Into, people seem to poo on No Way Home, saying, it's just fan service. It's fan service, but it's done right. That is offensive. That it's not even your top three. But the fact that you have Shrek 2 above it is unbelievable. You can't compare the two. Because Lion King is 80 trillion times better than Shrek 2. Man. But The Lion King is a lot more like this Shakespearean type film. Things like brothers taking the throne, all that. And I need to give The Lion King a rewatch. I know I love that film. It's one of my favorites of all time. It's in my top 50 for sure. By the way, guys, be sure to share this video so I can get some more people in here. Always does better, so I'm not having to wait with these like long, awkward silences and not having to like make myself drown in water because I have to think of some way to do it. Frankie says someone trying to put the first Puss in Boots over the second one, and I was like, no. The first one's nowhere near as good. I liked the first one enough when I first saw it. It has since regressed big time. Whew. Godzilla, I've only seen the first Shrek. Stop there. You shouldn't have even seen the first one. Do not go farther, Godzilla. It is the second, third, and fourth are pretty much all unwatchable. And that is a complete lie. Shrek 2 is one of the worst films of all time. Not one of the best. It is a horrible film. Terrible comedy. Terrible acting. Terrible voice work. Okay, not the voice work. The voice work's okay at best. But the Everything about the film was bad. There's not a single positive. I don't even think I have a single positive. I think I'm gonna put it into 1 star on Letterboxd. The more I think about it, it could be my least favorite of the bunch, Shrek 2. I think I might actually prefer Shrek the Third. I need to think about that. I'll need to rewatch Shrek the Third just to be sure, but it might be the worst of the bunch. But Hosta right now is having an aneurysm because of that. Oh. Frankie, people slowly starting to hate Infinity War and Endgame, but why don't like No Way Home? It's fan service done right. I know. Infinity War and Endgame are practically perfect. There's no flaws. Okay, no. Endgame, I have a little bit of nitpicks with like things like I do think the Smart Hulk thing and the Thor Bowski thing were not executed well. Other than that, they are practically perfect films. And I consider Infinity War and Endgame one very, very large and long film. Very. But I adore both because they're both like some of the greatest comic book films of all time. They're not my favorite Marvel film because my favorite Marvel film is Logan because Logan's perfect with everything. Okay, there's one little nitpick that a lot of people have gotten angry at me for because I had to bring down Logan to pull up X-Men Origins Wolverine because there's a scene in X-Men Origins Wolverine where Wolverine gets shot in the head with an adamantium bullet and all it does is make him lose his memory, and then you get the X-24 at the end of Logan. Ah! Sorry guys, I am in an upstairs, so I have my window open and I just saw a squirrel that's on the roof right next to me. Oh man, that scared me to death. But anyway, oh dang it, what was I talking? Oh yeah. So then you have X-24 in the final fight in Logan, and then what's your face? Laura shoots X-24 using an adamantium bullet, and it somehow kills X-24, which makes no sense. Oh man. Godzilla, are you excited about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire? Yes. And Myers Ed is saying, have you seen Ghostbusters Frozen Empire yet? If so, what are your thoughts? I have not seen it yet. I'm going to try and see it soon. I need to finish my binge of Ghostbusters 2 2016 and Afterlife. Frankie, I think there's some characters that were done a bit dirty, but I don't think the story is bad at all. In Endgame, things like I did not like Thor or Hulk's treatment, but other than that, Film Kid, I am here. Great to see you, buddy. Hosta, the reason people hate on Infinity War and Endgame is to make movies like The Dark Knight look better. The same goes the other way. You're not wrong. Ledger, your nitpick with Logan makes no sense. Origins has screwed up the timeline. No, it doesn't. Origins takes place in the 80s. It's the first chronological one in the franchise. How does that one screw up the franchise? I mean, debatably, Origins is a bad film, but it's still entertaining. So, great to see that. But it didn't screw up the timeline. Also says, since you're doing 9 out of 10s on your favorites list, are you gonna add Dune Part 2? No way in heck. It might go down to 4. I'll give it a rewatch soon. Not in theaters, but I'll give it a rewatch soon, and it has the potential to go up to my favorites or down. I'm not lying to you guys because I'm not a dummy, and I can tell that I can be a bad liar sometimes. Not as bad as someone like Film Kid, who's a horrible liar, but it is blatantly obvious when he's lying. But dang it, what was I saying? Oh, there goes that. I'll try and think if I remember it. Oh wait. Okay, yeah, no, I can't remember. I'll say if I remember. Godzilla. It's pretty bizarre that it's not coming out in October. I mean, it is a Frozen Empire, so it probably makes sense that it'd be coming out in March for some reason. Frankie, I watched Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and I think it's the best sequel. I'm just saying don't go in with the high expectations so you don't get disappointed. I won't. I'm going in knowing that people have been saying that it's one of the worst. Hopefully it's not. Hosta, how do you not remember Wolverine after Origins? Not even Jean or of Cyclops. What do you mean about Jean and Cyclops? It's only Cyclops is in Origins. Jean isn't in Origins. Wait. Oh wait, how did no one remember Wolverine after Origins? Technically, that's because Cyclops never met Wolverine. There is no scene. They're in the same film, but other than that, Jean isn't in Origins, and Cyclops, I believe, had his eyes covered whenever Logan was with him. So Myers says, which do you like more, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, or Terminator Genesis? Terminator Genesis, and it's not even close. The difference is pathetic. Every joke that they make in Terminator 3 falls on its face hard. I absolutely hate Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. Filmkit says, gotta get going, but expect a ranking from Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and Ghostbusters Frozen Empire for a ranking coming out tomorrow. Will do. Frankie, this might sound disgraceful, but recently he was saying that the remix to A Lion King is better than the OG. Oh wait, remake. Oh no way. No way the remake is better. The remake is just a shot-for-shot remake. It's just a shot-for-shot remake of the first film, which just doesn't have the heart or the magic. And you also can't even smile. They technically can't even smile in the other one. Meyer says, I agree. Terminator Genesis is underrated in my opinion. I think it's a bad film, but I don't think it's near the caliber of unwatchability of Terminator 3. Terminator 3 is the Godfather compared to Genesis. Oh, I mean, no, other way around. Scratch that. Reverse it. Genesis is the Godfather compared to Rise of the Machines. Drew says, hey everyone, what's up? I'm doing good. How are you doing? Godzilla, have you seen the Dirty Harry movies yet? I have not. I've been wanting to. Frankie, I've been hearing people say that. Oh, I just pulled it off. Sorry. People say that saying, oh, do we make it too much hate? We need to give it more. No. Unless it's for a bad film, in which case, please give it more hate. Hosta says Genesis has the lowest lows I've seen in a movie. Nope. It's the most embarrassing, probably the bunch, but it's not the worst. It doesn't have the lowest lows, like, because there's some stuff that I think that's funny. There's some stuff. Is it a good film? No, it is a bad film, but it has its moments. Meanwhile, Rise of the Machines, I didn't hate it as much when I first saw it. I was like, that was okay. And then the more I thought about it, I just hated it more and 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 more. To the point to where it's now a 1/2, probably. I think I need to switch it to 1/2. I have it a 1 right now on Letterboxd. It's going to 1/2. I'm done with this. I am done with them trying to spoof it. Frankie, no, I've been hearing people trying to give it more love, even though all I wanted is to give it more hate. The only positive I could give the movies is that the look of the animals in the movie looks good. Yeah, the animals look fan-freaking-tastic. Asta, I guess embarrassing is a good word to describe Genesis. Yeah. Myers, this is a popular debate amongst horror fans, but Halloween or The Thing, which film is better in your opinion? I have never seen The Thing, so objectively, objectively which one's a better made film, then I'm going with The Thing. If I'm going off of which one has done more for horror, then I'm going Halloween. How's this just gonna go? See you, man. Oh no, I'm losing everyone's. Godzilla. Have you seen the National Treasure movies? I have. I really really enjoy the first one. I also do like the second film, but I do think the second is a pretty big step down from the first. But I'm hoping that they're gonna make a third film. I really enjoy the first two. Well, yeah. So, and I believe we got a show last year, the year before that. I didn't check it out because I heard it was horrible. Gonna steer very clear of that one for a long time at least, Frankie. When I first saw was Lion King, I thought it was too dark when they killed off Mufasa, literally heartbreaking me. That was very hard to watch. Yeah, that was very hard seeing him die, but it's still a fantastic film. Pretty much a perfect film all around. Whew. Godzilla says The Thing 1982 is really good. I know it's on my radar to buy. I'm gonna see how much it is at the moment to see if I'm gonna see how much it is at the moment. Hopefully it's on sale. It's been like $15 lately, and I'm not paying that much. I'm not paying that much. But I know I'm gonna get it the second it goes on sale. I'm getting it. But a buddy of mine, Austin, from SPC Unleashed, who actually was in the stream for like a second. Okay, it's not on sale yet. But on our No Time to Die watch along, he brought up the thing and told me that I need to watch it, and said some stuff about the remake that he was not a big fan of. But I do really need to give the thing a watch. But I just thought it would be fun to bring up because he was here a second ago, probably isn't here anymore. He does have kids, so I don't blame him. So, but I need to get on to the thing. After I get done with some of these franchises like Saw and Leprechaun. I have not been choosing some very good franchises to be watching, guys. I have been pretty stupid. Even for me. And that is saying something. Okay, there we go. Frankie says I don't think Mufasa is gonna be good. I think it's going to be a sequel to 2019 one. It is a sequel to the 2019 one. Myers, what is your favorite James Bond film? My personal favorites are GoldenEye and Casino Royale. Daniel Craig, yeah. As long as the Casino Royale from the 60s is in there, I'm happy. Man, is that a horrible film. That film was so bad, it made me, in hindsight, want to give Never Say Never Again a 1 star. Sadly, Never Say Never Again is unbelievably bad, so it stays at a 1/2. So, my two favorites, I actually got done watching Casino Royale 2 hours ago, so I just rewatched Casino Royale. So my two favorites are Skyfall and Casino Royale. Speaking on that subject, Frankie is saying that you forgot Skyfall. Yes, he did. Shame. But apparently we got ourselves a big Martin Campbell fan, considering that he directed both of those. I really enjoy GoldenEye a lot. That's my 6th favorite, but it's not as good as some of the other ones. Like I prefer 2 Connery films and 3 Daniel Craig films. But I do still love GoldenEye. Godzilla. More recently, I watched National Treasure 2: Book of Secrets, and I enjoyed it just as much as the first, in my opinion. It's good. It's just I think that the first one's a little better. Frankie, GoldenEye is my 2nd favorite James Bond movie. That's a good one. I would say that Casino Royale is grittier, has more action, which is why I like it more. But I enjoy GoldenEye a lot. Godzilla. The first time I watched it, I didn't like as much as the first, but the last time I saw it, I really enjoyed it. Yeah. I need to give both a rewatch. man, try to kick me out. Sorry. Anyway, Myers is saying, did you ever end up seeing the FNAF movie? What are your thoughts? I personally really enjoyed it. I absolutely hated it. It was one of my least favorites of the year. Unbearably bad. Horrible characters, horrible acting, terrible cinematography. Oh, man, it is so bad. Man. Sorry, Godzilla. I tried to eject me for a second, but it wouldn't stay like it for long. Frankie, hot take. As much as I love Casino Royale, I prefer Quantum of Solace. Great to see some love for Quantum of Solace. I love Quantum of Solace. I have no idea where the hate comes from. I think it's just because it's easy to pick on with some of the things like the action. Other than that, pretty much none of their criticisms are valid. The villain's not the best, but he's not the worst in the entire franchise. I've seen way worse villains and much more embarrassing villains, but Quantum is great. Craig is awesome in that one. Water break. Okay, guys, be sure to share this video so that I can get some more people in here so I'm not having to, again, take so long breaks like with the water because I'm trying to stall. And be sure to like this video and subscribe if you have not already. Meyer says, I'm just a FNAF fan, so I understood the lore and what they were going for. That's probably why I liked it. That's probably why as well. Frankie says, I think Spectre is my worst Daniel Craig. James Bond, Daniel Craig, James Bond. But I don't think it's a bad movie, to be honest. I don't think there's one bad James Bond film, even the bad story ones. Oh, there's a number of them that are bad. Never Say Never Again, A View to a Kill, Casino Royale from the 60s, Die Another Day, The World Is Not Enough, You Only Live Twice, Moonraker, Live and Let Die, The Man with the Golden Gun. Oh, man. What am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting one. Diamonds Are Forever. I think I said that. I don't think I said that one. Meyer says, what do you think is the worst James Bond film? Casino Royale from 1960s is my least favorite of the bunch. If we're talking about the ones that are Eon, aka that are canon inside the franchise, that are canon, my least favorite is A View to a Kill. That's closely followed by Die Another Day. But those are easily my bottom two, but I'm giving it to A View to a Kill because I much prefer Pierce Brosnan to Roger Moore. I hate Roger Moore's James Bond. He was way too comedy. There's a reason why Daniel Craig is miles better. Godzilla says, Die Another Day is cancer. You're not wrong. It is horrible. I think the song is catchy. I think the song is catchy. That's about all that gets it above A View to a Kill. It's like a guilty pleasure song. That's just one that just kind of makes. That's just it's very weird because it's one where my buddy Austin that I talked about, he had never seen Die Another Day. So when I told him about the opening being like where they're playing a catchy, upbeat Madonna song where you're seeing James Bond being like tortured, where he's like being drowned and like having these scorpions coming in and like stinging him. And I told him about that. His reaction was hilarious. It was, oh man. I am so happy. I am so getting ready to see his reaction to the Die Another Day. Myers, what are your thoughts on the John Wick franchise? At one point, this was my favorite franchise. It has since regressed big time because it's not even really a franchise. It only has 4 films and a TV show, so it barely counts. But I think it's a very consistent franchise where you have the first film, which is fantastic. You get the second film, which is fantastic. You get the third film, which is fantastic. And then you have the fourth film, which is fantastic. A great set of films. Then you have the Continental, which is by far the worst of the bunch, but it's still really good. I think Mel Gibson is really fun in the Continental. I think Keanu Reeves is really good in it. I cannot wait for Ballerina. Frankie, what are your hidden gem movies? One that I usually always go to is a film called We Bought a Zoo that stars Matt Damon. If you guys have Disney Plus, it should be on there. So I would highly recommend checking out Matt Damon's We Bought a Zoo. If not, just buy it. It is so freaking spectacular. Godzilla, the Die Another Day theme made my ears bleed. I don't think it's as bad as some like Quantum of Solace. That is a horrible opening theme song. I hate that one. I don't even think I finished that one. I mean, I think that Die Another Day is a horrible film, but it's not a doesn't have the worst Bond song I've seen. I've certainly heard worse. Although let's just say that there are some fantastic Bond themes, and there's others that basically sound like nails on a chalkboard, and that are just plain weird. You have a lot of them. Die Another Day is definitely the weirdest of the bunch. Okay, I'm gonna do heads, or I'm gonna flip a coin. Dang it! Hold on. Heads. I have to do something to pass the time. Well, there's not very many people here because I've lost virtually everyone probably at this point. Myers, have you seen The Departed with Leo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, and Mark Wahlberg? It is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I have not seen it. I am. I mean, I have not seen it. I am wanting to see it though. Frankie, this is gonna make people really angry, but I would roll What's Never Seen Ever Again over the overrated Terminator 2 and Lion King. Oh, that's disgraceful. You're comparing one of the worst films of all time to two of the best films of all time. You have The Lion King, which is easily top 50, and you have Terminator 2, which is my second favorite film of all time because Terminator 2 is fantastic. Man, it's so good. Oh, okay. You know, while I'm doing this, wait, hold on. Myers, Terminator 2 is one of the best films ever made. Yes, I agree with that statement. Frankie says Sean Chandler has Terminator 2 as his best movie because it's top 3 of all time at best. I mean, at worst. It's a freaking fantastic film. But since you brought up Terminator 2, I'm going to quickly go to Terminator 3 and one half that disgrace to humanity. And there. They were the ones that wanted. They wanted this. They asked. They know that they deserve it. It's so. Frankie, it's in my top 3,000. That is offensive at best. Godzilla, in my opinion, it is worse than Quantum of Solace theme, but that's just me, and it's definitely not a great theme song. That's for sure. It's not the worst theme song I've ever heard. Wait, we're talking about we're talking about which one are we? I think we're talking about Quantum, because if so, that is a terrible theme song. If we're talking about Die Another Day, I'll still say that. Meyer says, my opinion of the Terminator films would go. Here we go. Man, why does Terminator 3 exist? It's so unbearable. Okay, there. I have now given it the highest level of disrespect I can ever give Terminator 3. Rise of the Machines. Man. Hate it with every bone in my body. Everything is so bad. It's terrible. Man. Myers, 1 Terminator 2, 2 Terminator 2 Terminator, 3 Dark Fate, 4 Genesis, 5 Salvation, 6 Rise of the Machines. So Rise of the Machines is in last place, so I agree. I would switch Genesis. I I would put Genesis at 5, Salvation at 3, and Dark Fate at 4. But other than that, I agree. I like Dark Fate, Salvation, and the first two, of course. But I do not like Genesis or Rise of the Machines. Frankie, I think it's a straight for that once you get it to Terminator 2, they had to make it bad with a third one. Yeah, because I hate Terminator 3. Oh. Yeah, one of the worst films, top 50 worst of all time. Top 15 probably. It is a unwatchable film. That's me being nice. Saying it's unwatchable. That's because I'm in a good mood. I would tell it to be lucky that I'm being nice right now. Man. Terminator 3 should never exist. It should be destroyed. I wish every bit of its existence could be put into one object, and then we burn that object to the ground to the point to where it can never recover. Myers. Another unwatchable film is Predator 2018. I don't hate Predator 2018. I think it's not very good, but I don't hate it. I don't think it's unwatchable. I can watch it. The first 45 minutes is really good of the film. Up until we get what is it? The CG Predator, that's when it starts tanking. That's when it goes really bad. Oh boy. Godzilla, have you seen Collateral yet? I have not. I need to. Frankie, Dark Fate is overrated. I mean, not overrated, overhated. No way, that's overrated. But yeah, it does get a lot of unnecessary hate that it does not deserve, and they know it. I think the only reason that people hated the film was because it was because that it was. The only reason that people disliked the film was because it got spoiled. Other than that, every criticism they throw at it is just something that just makes them look like idiots. Man. Dark Fate is definitely one of the best in the Terminator franchise. I have no idea what people are trying to say. Godzilla, have you seen the Kingsman movies? I have not. I need to get onto them. Really looking forward to seeing the first one, and I think I am gonna have a little bit of fun with the Kingsman. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about the Golden Circle. I hear it's really bad. There we go. Myers, I love both the Predator and Alien franchises. Have you seen the trailer for to the new Alien film? I have. We actually were talking about that a little while ago. I'm so excited for it, and it should be great, and it should be good because they still have Ridley Scott. Yes, he is. I think he's producing it. Yeah, I think so, Frankie. And it's a day after Judgment Day. Day after Judgment Day. There should be no day after Judgment Day. Judgment Day is day afterable. I just made up a new word. Looks like I need to copyright that. Okay, I think this is how I pronounce it, Bayua or something. Bayua says, "Sup, bro? Great to see you in here." Godzilla, Kingsman, the Golden Circle is really enjoyable in my opinion. Hopefully we'll get. Hopefully it'll be good. My dad has the first two purchased, so I'll check them out and. Yeah, and I'll watch The Kingsman soon since it's on Disney Plus. I mean, it's on a Disney Plus in like other countries like Canada, and since I have a VPN, I can do it. Yes, yeah, I know. I'm pretty good at these. I'm pretty good at making fun of myself. Frankie, in my opinion, even though Kingsman: The Golden Circle is the weakest of the three films, it's by no means a bad movie. I've heard a lot of mixed things. There's some people that really like it, and there's some people that really hate it. Myers, I can't believe that they are making a second Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey movie. I do not either. I hated the first film to death. I wished so bad that they could have destroyed that thing. And you want to know another thing that can join Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines? and putting all of its existence into one object and then being burned to death the heck out of, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey should be at the top of that list. Oh man, I mean, there's some. It looks like the second one looks like it's gonna have some fun with the concept. There's been some really cool things, like I think the voice work is really good. There's a scene involving like Tigger and like Piglet, and it's mostly Owl that does the really cool thing with like the way he talks. I think it's a really cool scene. It's like a minute long that they released. Hopefully the film is good. I am desperately hoping to be proven wrong, but other than that, I'm gonna say it was not entertaining. No, I'm checking out of that. I'm checking out. If you guys hear flipping of a coin, it's just because I'm bored. So I'm doing something to pass the time while I'm answering these questions. Frankie says, I saw Aladdin. He means Blood and Honey 2, and I don't hate it. The movie is not a good movie, but I don't hate it. It is actually a rewatchable movie. It's not a good movie, but I do have some fun unlike the first. Let's be honest. No one. There's very few people that have fun with the first. Very few. Also says, are you going to watch Forrest Gump soon? My mom purchased it since it was on sale, so most likely within the next week I will watch it. Man, I am so pumped for that one. That I can tell is going to be one of my favorites. And if it isn't, I'm going to kick myself. We got Austin back in the house. I already talked about you for two things now twice. Of course I talked about it for two things twice. That means the same thing, you moron. Ow. Okay, anyway, thoughts on the Acolyte trailer. I actually am very pumped for it. This looks like this could get Star Wars back on track after the bit of a rut that they had with Mandalorian Season 3 and, in my opinion, Ahsoka. I never finished Ahsoka. I didn't get onto it. I didn't feel the rush to want to finish it. I thought it was pretty boring at times. Austin says, "Oh boy, what was that?" One of them was about the No Time to Die watch along and talking about you. The other one I can't even remember. If you're asking about what the owl was, that was because I beat myself up for a second. But oh boy, where am I? Frankie says, so this movie is not a good movie, but I think the movie is it looks way better than the first one, and it actually ain't ridiculous compared to the first. It has got ridiculous stuff in it, but not as much. No. Austin says, Ledger, can I join the Aliens watch along? I do not know. We need to talk to Film Kid. I don't even know if I don't even know if we're doing it tomorrow. I don't know when we're doing it. We got Bayou saying Disney ruined Star Wars. Yes, they did. Man, I hate it. And also, Frankie, can you please answer me this? Was there any nudity in Blood and Honey 2? Bayou says most horror movies have bad acting, but we only watch these movies to be entertained. Yep. There's some entertaining films out there that are not good, but they're entertaining. But there's some bad acting in horror that has some of the worst acting you can find. Like Blood and Honey, the acting was horrendous. But there's some franchises that do pretty good with their acting, like Scream. Okay, there's other than and what's his face, other than what's her face in the people that play the versions of the main characters from the first two in the third film, their acting is pretty horrible. Other than that, it's pretty good. Godzilla says, have you seen the Andor series? I have. I loved it. Frankie, I think why I had fun with it is because it was a bad movie because I was the only one in the theater. Myers, which film do you like more, Alien 3 or Alien Resurrection? I personally like Resurrection a little more. Sure, the movie is not good, but by any means, but they had some fun with creating something new. I agree. I pretty much hate both. But at least Resurrection does not open its film by trying to undo the ending of a film that is in my top 10 of all time. So, man, I hate it. Asta, if there ain't any nudity in Blood and Honey 2, I am watching. Very funny. Myers, also AVP is an underrated film. I agree with that. I absolutely despise the second film, but I do not hate the first one. I really enjoy it. I have a lot of fun with the first film. That is a definition of a film that is not good, but it's really entertaining and fun. But there's some dumb stuff in there. A lot of dumb stuff, but let's be honest, guys. There's some other dumb stuff in that franchise, but they should have made AVP rated R. There's no excuse for that. Godzilla, what is your favorite Star Wars show? Mandalorian by a little bit. After season 3, I would have said before Mandalorian season 3 that I was by far. After season 3, it's barely my favorite because Mandalorian season 3 was by far my biggest disappointment. By far. Bayou says both Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection were bad in my opinion. That's an understatement. Bayou, AVP is so underrated. Yep. Frankie, would you call Never Say Never Again a bad movie, but is entertaining because of Sean? Nope. Sean tries, but it is not entertaining. No. Never Say Never Again is one of the worst films of all time. Which is saying a lot considering I've seen nearly 1,000 films in my lifetime. So I know some doozies. Okay. And Frankie, did you hear my question I asked you? Godzilla, I haven't seen Andor, but I really want to. Dude, get onto it. It's so good. It's a bit slow for the first few episodes, but don't worry, it pays off really well. You get some the few are they can be boring in the first few, but they're so good. Frankie, I saw 100,000 movies. Oh wow, I don't know if that's even possible. Wait, Frankie, are you on Letterboxd? And by Frankie the Beastmaker, Never Say Never Again is trash. Agreed. Never Say Never Again is. You want to hear the word cancer about something? Because I'll tell you this: Never Say Never Again is 10 times worse at worst. I mean, at best, Never Say Never Again is like 80 times worse than Die Another Day. Because at least Pierce Brosnan is really trying his hardest. Hasta, after recent rewatch, I can say The Empire Strikes Back is definitely my favorite Star Wars movie. 1977 is still up there with my favorites, but it does not deserve top 250 on IMDb by any means. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Frankie, I would have Letterboxd, but my parents say to me I'm too young, even though I'm literally 14. I was 14 and I have Letterboxd. Brother, but I would ask how you know how you've seen that many movies, but also and Frankie, did you hear my question I asked you about Blood and Honey 2? Godzilla, I've seen the Blade Runner films, so I'm not a stranger to slow media. Yeah. The first one's very slow. The second film has been more fast-paced, but I think the second one is far superior to the second film. I mean, no. I think 2049 is far superior to the first film. I respect the hell out of the first film. I think that I'm not debating. I think that the first film was pretty overrated. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. The extra half is because of respect. Other than that, it's not that high. Frankie, because I go around YouTube that talks about movies, and I see all movies because I'm probably a big movie fan. Also, Legend, the Darth Vader and Obi-Wan battle looks so damn stupid. They look like noobs that in that battle. Mark Hamill's acting is just flawed. So, Does it look like a give a does it look like a give a care? I still don't care. All I know is Star Wars is fantastic. Frankie says, and what was your question about Blood and Honey 2? Is there any nudity in it? Specifically, is there any women's nudity in it? I need to know that now. Godzilla, I love both the Blade Runner films. I love the second. Not the second. Technically, it is the second, but still, I love 2049. I do not. Okay, no, I do really enjoy the first film, but I think it's a bit overrated. Frankie says, "Oh yeah, of course there is." It's probably in that strip club scene that I saw with Winnie the Pooh and where they like take her head off. I saw that in the trailer and I immediately thought that has to be a strip club or something. There has to be that. I know there's nudity in the first film, but I'm wondering if the second film was continuing that streak, and apparently it is. These perverts. Man. Could keep me from seeing it, but I want to see it just so I can hate on the film because it's taking a premise that I hate because I grew up with Winnie the Pooh. So much nostalgia. They're just trying to bastardize the property of Pooh. There's a reason why people hated it. Little water break. Looks like Austin keeps going in and out between coming in here or not. So I don't care either. I'm just saying Empire Strikes Back is genuinely that good, and I've been treating them equal for so long, for the longest time. Empire is just one of the best movies ever made. Still love 1977. They're both one of the best movies ever made. But Empire just kind of continued that incest plot line. It's nowhere near as insufferable as something like Back to the Future, which is genuinely destroys the film. But Frankie, an electrician, a Lion King horror film called Simba Attacks in 2026. They're doing that. I don't know. They don't own the rights to Lion King. It has to be like 100 years old or something for them before it can go on sale. So Lion King cannot physically be put into the public domain for a long time. They don't have the rights. Godzilla, apparently Alien and Blade Runner are supposedly in the same universe as each other. What the heck? Yeah, the heck they are. No way. That would mean that Blade Runner, Predator, and Alien are all in the same universe. Wait. Meaning that technically we could see a battle with Harrison Ford and Arnold Schwarzenegger. That will be pretty fun, even if it's going to be really embarrassing for Harrison Ford. Austin, nope. Luke and Leia were never siblings in Empire. It was just Return of the Jedi that made a couple stupid decisions. So they carry it much farther Back to the Future than they do in Return of the Jedi. The only difference is Return of the Jedi is better. Frankie, well, where do Pooh isn't even 7 years old? Well, he can't. All I know is Pooh got to a certain age where he was put into the public domain, or it accidentally happened, and the creators of the first film found it and said, they're not. So not only are Pooh and Piglet in the public domain, then Tigger, Owl, Peter Pan, Bambi, they were released into the public domain, and the creators snatched up all of them. Hostile. Yeah, Harrison Ford doesn't have a chance against Arnold. Arnold got those steroids. Yeah, I mean, even if we had Harrison Ford back when he was Indiana Jones, he wouldn't have stood a chance. If we were pinning Arnold nowadays against Harrison Ford in his prime, I would still probably vote for Arnold. That's just how Arnold is. Yeah, Arnold's so Arnold. But man, speaking of Arnold, I've been watching Predator because I started it, and man, I remember how much I love it. And guys, that is how you know you have a great film on your hands. That I am watching it next week with two buddies, and I'm watching it with two buddies, and it's already one of my favorite. And I'm watching it next week with two of my buddies, and I'm watching it right now. Man, Godzilla, yes there are, but it's subtle. Wait, what is Godzilla talking about again? Oh, yeah, but in Back to the Future, I think, or Return of Jedi. Yeah, but Back to the Future is not subtle. Back to the Future is in your face. The only difference is Back to the Future carries it much farther than Return of the Jedi. Yeesh, man. There's some really bad stuff in Back to the Future people do not try and bring up to ignore it. I don't. Hasa says, no, dude, without steroids can beat peak Arnold. Oh, no, dude, without steroids can beat peak Arnold. Even if they did have steroids, I would like to see someone try and kill Arnold. The only person that without steroids could beat Arnold is Stallone. Because Stallone, let's be honest, he's Rambo, he's Rocky, he's Cobra. What else is he? He's been a Cliffhanger. He's been in stuff. Hossa says, Ledger, you called Back to the Future near perfect last time you saw it, so I can't respect your opinion. I didn't call it perfect. I only said it was perfect because I was in that mood where I was like, you know what? I don't like this film that much, but I'm gonna say it's perfect because people give me views. And that because I saw him a guy where he said 5 films that I think are perfect. He put 1977, Star Wars, Die Hard, and Back to the Future in there as well. So I saw, and people were saying great job for Back to the Future. And this was in the era where I was like, wait, if I say that, then maybe people like me. So I did that. And I have since probably wanted to delete that video, but it is not a perfect film. Frankie, hot take. As much as I love Empire Strikes Back, I find it to be the weakest of the original trilogy of Star Wars. I still think the original one and Return of the Jedi is better. They're all basically perfect. Godzilla. No, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about Alien and Blade Runner. Well, oh. Wow. Hosta. Well, you're telling me Rambo 3 Stallone wasn't on steroids? Good point. I showed my brother Rambo 3 a little while ago. I don't even know if he's finished. I know he started, so I looked at like the thing where they were doing that stick match in the beginning of Rambo 3, and I realized Stallone is jacked right now. He looks like he could pick up the entire world while he's doing an arm wrestling match. Man, he's jacked. Frankie, hot take, I love The Last Jedi until they killed Solo. Wait, killed Solo? They didn't kill Han in Last Jedi. They killed him in Force Awakens. Force Awakens is nearly my top 50. I love Force Awakens. I do not understand the hate for that one. I know a lot of people have since regressed on the film a lot because looking back on the sequel trilogy, but I cut off the entire Star Wars saga after you see Rey holding out the lightsaber to Luke. After that, there's nothing else. Everything else didn't happen and never will. Because, man, dude, Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker suck. I still don't even know if I saw Last Jedi in theaters. I might have. I think I did see Force Awakens in theaters. Go for a little while longer. Frankie, Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars film. Hot take, I think that Rogue One is the most overrated of all the Star Wars films, bar none. Hosta, nah, Force Awakens ain't 5 stars by any means. Han Solo was killed before we saw him with Luke. That's not a flaw. I genuinely don't care. That film is still awesome. It's fan service, but I love it, dude. Just accept it. I love it. I love Force Awakens, and I'm not letting anyone tell me otherwise. Godzilla, Alien, and Blade Runner are in the same universe, but subtly woven in the films. So Predator, Alien, and Blade Runner are in the same universe? Next thing you're going to tell me is that Terminator's in the same universe as them. Oh, wait, is he actually going to tell me that? That'll actually be pretty funny. Yeah, I think I'll go for like 15 more minutes. So if you have any more questions, put them in there because I'm going to be on here for 15 more minutes. Godzilla is saying no, it isn't. Oh, why can't Alien, Predator, Blade Runner, Terminator be in the same universe? It would look awesome. That would mean we would get to see Arnold versus Arnold. Although the effects would probably look really bad, though. Probably look similar to the effects that you get when you see Neo fighting all of those Agent Smiths in The Matrix Reloaded, which looks horrible. The effects in that are laughable. It looks like a video game cutscene. Frankie, did you know I hit 2,500 subscribers? I did not. I needed to keep checking on your channel. I keep forgetting to. But I did not. I'm one of them. I'm one of the subscribers. I just haven't gotten there yet. But that's impressive, dude. Wish I could get subscribers like you. Sadly, it's just I'm more of a slow burn. So I haven't been getting many lately. Actually, no, I have. I've been getting like several a day, but I'm doing good. Hasta Ledger, have you noticed how bad the effects in Predator are? No, because there aren't bad effects. The effects are not the greatest of all time, but they are not bad. They are good. If you're Hasta, if you don't think the film is perfect, you don't have to say it. But if you're going to say that the effects are horrible, then they are not horrible. They are. Wow. Frankie, it's crazy because last week I had 2,070. Man, I need to learn your tricks. Godzilla, it would definitely be fun if Terminator was in the same universe, though. Yes. Terminator versus Predator versus Alien. All they would need to do is keep one thing for certain. They have to keep the lights on. And I have seen the fireball scene. It does not look horrible. Dude, you have seen much worse effects in your lifetime. So have I. You are just trying to find some way to hate on the film. I know there's much worse effects. But let's change the subject, please. I'm begging you, dude. Change the subject. Okay. Sorry about that. That was my neck. My neck. Frankie, I would go live, but YouTube banned me for 2 weeks. I have no idea why. Godzilla versus Replicants as well. Oh, yeah. Alien versus Predator versus Terminator versus Replicants. Dawn of convolutedness. Let's patent that right there and get it out to the public. Hostage says, well, I can switch the subject to Daniel Craig. You do realize I can ban you. No fights that are going to get me angry. Frankie, it's sad you missed my birthday on the 19th. Oh, man. Sorry, buddy. When was the 19th? Oh, wow. Sorry. That was not my intention. When was the 19th? Can somebody please put in the comments what day the 19th was? Because I think I might have had something then. And Frankie, can you put what day the 19th was and what was the and what time the stream was? Because if so, I think I might have something about why I missed it. Asta says, Ledger, why do you think Blade Runner is overrated? It is very slow. It's extremely boring at certain points. It is not near, and people make it out as if it's like one of the greatest. It's like one of the top 15 of all time, and it is not. Frankie says Tuesday. I do not think I had that then. I mean, what time was it? Because if so, I might have had something. Definitely more one of the quiet streams, but to be fair, what of my streams, what aren't the more quiet ones? Hasta, it is not a criticism to call a movie slow. Not every movie needs to be fast paced. No, it's just boring. It's extremely boring, and people make it out as if it's the best film of all time. And there's some stuff that does look kind of dated. But I was genuinely bored at certain points. Hasta says, I believe Joker 2 will be great. It's a musical, so I'm a bit skeptical because musicals are one of my least favorite subgenres by far. So I'm going in skeptical, especially considering it's going to especially considering that the first film is a very dark film. So getting a sequel to it that's a musical is going to be weird, very weird. But the only rated R films I'm planning to see this year are Joker 2, hopefully Alien Romulus, and Deadpool 3. Pumped for all three. I think Alien Romulus of the bunch is probably the one I'm most excited for. Every scene in Blade Runner is needed. So, still boring, still overrated. Won't change my mind. Whew. Okay. It is 3:12 where I am. After this, I'm probably just going to take a shower and get ready for the thing I have to go to. But that was pretty funny while I was on the stream, and I had like a little freak out when I saw it because there was a squirrel that came onto here. Since I'm right next to like a window type thing, so the squirrel started crawling around like there, and so I didn't look to my left to look outside, and I'm like, ah! It was hilarious. Godzilla says, "Are you excited for Joker?" I'm gonna say this. I think that's one of the most stupid titles ever. Filet de. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Why do you need to call it that? Frankie, I'm glad I was Deadpool 3. Like literally, this movie is going to be fan service. Fan service to the max. Fan service my butt. It'll probably be good. Asta, I think the musical stuff in Joker will will work in Joker. I think it will make the love story even more dark. Love story in a Joker film. No. Sure it doesn't sound that dark, but Arthur danced in the original, and that was dark. Makes sense to me. Yeah, but there was no like singing, especially almost like opera sounding, which I think is probably gonna be it. But that was a bit dark when we see that scene on the stairs, which has become like one of the most popular things for people to do in that place now. Godzilla. What about Furiosa movie, the Mad Max spinoff? Not gonna see that one in theaters. Hasta, I'm hoping Furiosa will I'm hoping Furiously I think it's Furiosa will be all right, but I don't think so, to be honest. Godzilla, I hope it will be good too. Frankie, trust me, it's literally the best superhero movie since Endgame. Oh boy. Although we haven't really had much competition. We haven't had a single what are the comic book films that we've had? Okay, other than No Way Home, we have not had a. Hosta says, "Damn, Frankie, are you disrespecting Wakanda Forever like that?" No, we're not, because Wakanda Forever because Wakanda Forever is bottom 3 MCU, and it's a horrible film. It is basically unwatchable and is horrendous at best. Man, it is so bad. But other than Spider-Man No Way Home, we have not had very many competition for greatest comic book film since Avengers Endgame. We have had some other than that. Wait. Asta, Ledger, and Guardians 3, one of your favorite movies. Dang it! Sorry. Let me rephrase that. After Spider-Man No Way Home and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, we have not had much competition for comic book films. Frankie, no, Wakanda Forever is fantastic, better than 1. That's disrespectful. 1 is overrated, but it's insulting. Wakanda Forever was horrible. It is easily bottom tier MCU at best. That's me being nice to it. It's definitely, it's on some days it's bottom too. It's not worse than Eternals because Eternals is unwatchable. But yeah. Blech. Frankie says, no, you're disrespectful. The movie had to pay homage to Chadwick Boseman. Yeah, so at least Chadwick Boseman is in the first film. I don't care if they're paying homage. I love that part of it. I love that they paid homage to him. The film still sucks. Godzilla, have you seen the 90s Gamera trilogy? I have not. Austin, nope. Wakanda Forever is the most emotional Marvel movie besides Logan and moments in Endgame. No, I genuinely don't care. Wakanda Forever is a horrible film and is one of the worst in the entire MCU. Easily. And it's not even a competition. There's some bad films in the MCU, but yeesh. Like things like Thor Love and Thunder was horrible. But pumped for Deadpool and Deadpool 3. I really hope some of the jokes land because the trailer really did not sell me. The trailer really kind of confirmed that there's a lot of stuff I feel like it's going to be really there. It looked for me like there was a bit of it looked like there was a lot of it looks like there's a lot of what is it? It looks like there's a lot of green screen that they were using in Volume 3. Frankie, can you let me know down below? Was there any green screen in Volume 3? Not Volume 3. Was there any green screen in Deadpool 3? Because that's what it looked like in the trailers, like when they're on the like snow planet, which looks like they're revisiting the grave from Logan. That might be how they get Wolverine. Frankie, I think Volume 3 is the most emotional Marvel movie. It is, besides Logan. Logan is hard to watch. Godzilla, they're giant monster movies. Ooh, let your likey. Austin, nah, there's no bad films in the MCU or any movie that deserves the IMDb top 250. Yep. Yes, most of them do. Like Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, Captain America Civil War, The Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, all deserve top 100. Things like Doctor Strange 2, the Thor Love and Thunder, Thor The Dark World, Eternals, all deserve to be called some of the worst films of all time. They are horrible, unwatchable. Black Panther Wakanda Forever is another one that's unbearably bad. Frankie, I'm very sorry. I would tell you, but I can't. I'll get into trouble. This isn't me trying to lie to you, but I'm being honest. I was silent. Agreement to not tell no one. I understand. Hopefully there isn't green screen though. I really hope that there isn't because I'm really worried about that. Hosta says Infinity War, Endgame, Guardians, Winter Soldier all have flaws. So does Back to the Future, but you don't see me crying. Drew says, huge question. For what movie representation of a comic book villain do you think is the worst? For me, it was Batman and Robin did the Bane. Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. I hated Bane. I hated that. The way that he's just like, Bane. Yeah. Godzilla says, have you seen First Man? No. When we were doing our watch along for, I believe it was, no, not Top Gun Maverick. No, it was a Q&A. I think, yeah, I did a Q&A with a Film Kid, and when I did a thing with Film Kid, those ones, when we were doing that, my brother and my mom and dad were watching it. But Hofstra says, I'm just saying they're not some of the top 250 best movies ever made. I'm someone that has seen over 250 films, and I'm telling you, you are very wrong. Drew says, Mr. Freeze was at least funny with the ice puns. Bane was just insulting. Bane was insulting. I will say I used to hate Mr. Freeze's as I used to hate Arnold as Mr. Freeze. I have since come along to say I actually really enjoy him as Mr. Freeze. He's in a horrible film, but I love Mr. Freeze in this. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. And there's just I actually did make a comment on one of your videos about saying when you did like a Mr. Freeze versus Batman, and I'm like, hold the phone. Why is Mr. Freeze not cracking ice jokes, and why is he not Austrian? But Hosta says, Ledger, there's still a lot of movies you've never watched. So Avengers Infinity War is nearly top 30. I doubt it can be put out of my top 100 at this point. Frankie, Logan is literally a draining watch. It's fantastic but emotional and sad. It's like Charmless List. I think you mean Schindler's List. Yeah, I know. I rewatched Logan. I just forgot how brutal and just sad and just horrible it is to watch that final act. Oh man. Drew, what superhero movie do you prefer, serious or lighthearted? Usually it's serious. There's times where I can go into more lighthearted things, but usually it's serious. When I watch movies, I'm more of a serious guy. Godzilla, Bane, and Batman and Robin was disgraceful. The Dark Knight Rises did him justice. No, The Dark Knight Rises did him justice until Bane's death scene. That did him dirty. That the way that they kill him off was very dirty. Drew, yeah. And Frankie says, I think it's going to ruin the emotion after watching Deadpool 3. Oh, yeah. I knew that. I knew it. I knew. Because not only should it have been the ending, Logan, but Deadpool 3, since they brought him back alone, this is not a spoiler. You do not need to feel guilty about spoiling anything, because I'll tell you this. There is no way. I already knew Wolverine's in that film. It's marketed. They called the freaking film Deadpool Wolverine. There is no way that is not going to ruin the ending of Logan. Hosta, I doubted that Star Wars 77 would go out of my top 30 too, but then I watched a bunch of other fantastic movies and now it's sadly out. Don't care. I genuinely don't care. It won't be. Drew, Logan and The Dark Knight are the top 2 greatest superhero movies of all time. Completely agree. I just slightly prefer Logan because The Dark Knight's a bit overrated. Not by much. It's just a little overrated because of what people are saying. I'll go for about 9 more minutes. Man. Drew, which comic book movie do you think is worse? X-Men Origins Wolverine or Catwoman in 2004? Have only seen X-Men Origins Wolverine. I'll tell you this up in front. Catwoman is going to be at least 8 times worse. There's some weird stuff in Catwoman. I've seen some clips of it. I guarantee you Hosta would agree with me if I showed him some of this stuff. Especially a scene involving them playing basketball. Hosta would be like, what the heck? Frankie, I think Beyond the Spider-Verse will be better than Across. I mean, to be fair, we're not giving him much competition. Across was not that good. Hosta, The Dark Knight gets way too much hate. No, I'm not. I'm saying I still love it. I just think it's a bit overrated. Godzilla, I do think Bane deserves a more satisfying death in The Dark Knight Rises. He shouldn't have been arrested. He should have been arrested or something. The fact that they killed him off is one thing. The fact that they kill him off in the way they did was horrendous. And the fact that they had to make him basically this lapdog for Talia al Ghul, who is one of the worst villains in the entire Batman franchise, is horrible. I absolutely hate. That is such a terrible thing. They did him dirty. I cannot believe it. But I will. I keep doing this accidentally, Frankie. Besides a few issues with The Dark Knight Rises, I think it's fantastic. There's a lot of issues in The Dark Knight Rises. It is by far the worst in the entire trilogy and one of Nolan's weakest made film. I mean, not made film. Of the movies that Christopher Nolan's directed, that is the worst on a level of writing. It is the one that has the most flaws. There's a ton of plot holes in the film. I actually did a discussion with a buddy of mine called Jay, and we had a lot of plot holes we pointed out. There was 5. It was pathetic that the amount of stuff that they managed to cut corners, man. But I'll say this: Arnold is. I do not like Batman and Robin at all. I hate it. But I'll say this: Arnold is a lot of fun in that film. He brings it up a lot. It would have been a 1/2, but Arnold tries his hardest, and he's so campy, and he does so many things with that glorious Austrian accent that I had no choice, because he is the only one in Batman and Robin. He is the only one that does not know. He's the only one that does not. I mean, he's the only one that knows what film he is in, and he is taking it as seriously as anything. That's what Austin says. Frankie Ledger believes Quantum of Solace is better than The Dark Knight Rises. Oh, and it's not even close. Quantum is way better. Okay, Frankie. I think you mean it's the weakest movie that has a budget. Oh, no. Even if you take Following in the equation, Following does not really have plot holes. The Dark Knight Rises has many things. There's a lot of really bad writing in The Dark Knight Rises. It is the weakest of the films that he is of all the films that he's directed. That one is the one that has the sloppiest writing. Easily. It's not even a competition. Okay, real quick, anyone put in the comment section heads or tails? Just say heads or tails. Which one do you want? Water break while someone puts in heads or tails. Asta says, yeah, but following is really dull at times. But so is Tenet. Asta says tails. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to redo that one because it kind of did. Okay. Oh, and it's heads. I win. Yes. I knew I'm good. Godzilla, The Dark Knight Rises is a flawed yet satisfying conclusion to the Dark Knight trilogy, but that's just me. It's satisfying at certain points, but I do think it's really... That's like a Temple of Doom. Of the great trilogy that you have there, The Dark Knight, it's like Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom. It is it's like a 7.5 or low 8 out of 10 at best. It is a very flawed film, and of that trilogy, that is a great trilogy. It is easily the worst. Frankie, hot take. I wasn't a fan of the Batman, but I saw Batman 2, the Batman 2, and wow, this movie is going to make The Dark Knight look bad because this movie is 10 times better. How have you seen the Batman? It hasn't even, I don't think it's even been put into production yet. And Film Kid, I am back. Great to see you. But Frankie, I think you might be lying there. You didn't see the right film because the Batman hasn't even gone to production yet. I mean, the Batman 2. Hasta says, wow, Frankie, don't respect the Dark Knight like that. I mean, he's not wrong. The Dark Knight's not the greatest film of all time. It's like top 25, I think. But it's not actually. Frankie says, because actually I'm working with the people. Oh, in that case, I need to find some way to contact you so you can like send me photos so I can actually be able to be someone that can see this stuff early. I wouldn't share it, but it would mean that I'm cool. Something that I never am. Oh, man, I'm a loser. But anyway, okay, anyone else can put in the chat heads or tails. And Hasta says, Ledger, I can't argue with you about The Dark Knight because you don't want to love it. I want to love it. I just need them to fix some of the stuff that they have. There's also sloppy writing there's sloppy writing as well in there's sloppy writing as well in The Dark Knight. Godzilla. From what I've heard, it's only started filming recently. Oh yeah. Film Kid, yes you are. Okay, very funny. When I say I'm a loser, you're not supposed to say yes you are. You're supposed to try and sympathize with me. Jerk. Okay, Hasta says heads. Please be tails. 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 Oh! Hasta, you win. That's how you know I'm honest, because I could easily have it could easily have been a tail. I mean heads, and I could have said, okay, I win again. But luckily, I'm an honest little goody two shoes. So I said the truth. You got heads. Oh, brother, this again. Hasta, you put in your top 7 and lowered it without watching it. You've done that 2 times now. Can't you learn from your mistakes? No, I haven't, dude. I've significantly lowered it since. I don't need to rewatch a film to lower it a place, especially considering that there are plot points that are very sloppily written. Yeesh. But I'll rewatch it soon, probably within the next like 2-3 weeks. I'll probably rewatch it. Hopefully it'll go up, and hopefully it won't go down, because if so, Haas will have an aneurysm. Okay, Film Kid. Yes, are you not going to do some math? No. We don't do math. No math. Nothing. No. Stay math away. Math. Go away. No math. No. Frankie, I was Joker. I saw Joker 2, and I think it did the best they could to make Joker a musical. Okay. Hopefully, I mean, I know it can't be as good as the first one. The first one's a fantastic film. It's like top 50 of all time. But it's a dark as heck film. The first Joker. There's especially some scenes like when you see wait. So let's say if these plot holes exist, and then it still didn't bother you enough to put it out of your top 10. Wait, hold on. I need to read this again. It bothered me enough to put it out of my top 10. I'll say that because of the amount of flaws I have with the film. But Joker, the first film is dark. Things like the scene. Can we all just admit that the scene where he kills his mother, like by like suffocating her with a pillow? That I wanted so hard to look away. Oh man, Frankie, do you get a joke? I'm not Joker because he's Joker and I mean Joker. Get it. I technically cannot. I'm too dumb. That's a bit too high class for me to get. I think I need these like short and straight to the points that are a bit more dumbed down. Otherwise, I would probably go over my head. And Philip Kid, I'm gonna break your arm if you try and say yes. Yes, he does. Godzilla says, "Have you seen The Great Gatsby from 2013?" If you're talking about the one with Leo, I have not. Hasa says, "Oh, this again. When you watched The Dark Knight, you loved it both times, and then just because of some YouTube video, change your mind." No, because I actually am objective. Something that Hasta, you are never when it comes to The Dark Knight. Film Kid, he does. I don't know who he is, but whoever he is, I wonder what he does. Oh man. And that, everyone, is how you have a comeback. Okay, heads or tails, guys? Okay. Frankie, enough that I've worked with the Batman, so I'm also gonna be helping people with the Fantastic Four film and maybe Secret Wars, depending on how hard I work with the Batman too. Well, I thought you said you're only 14 years old. How are you working on the Batman? 2. Godzilla, yes, I'm talking about that one. I recommend checking that one out. Hasa, you did the same thing with Prey. The second you found out it was a hot take calling Prey your favorite movie of the century, you lowered it massively. Because the film went down, did I rewatch it? Oh yeah, I think I did rewatch it, and I significantly was like, wait a second. What was I smoking? Because there were some massive issues I had. I think that and also it doesn't really help that the film is 80,000 times worse than the first Predator film. Although, let's be honest, guys, it's not really. I mean, it's extremely hard to make a film better than Predator. That is like the most manly movie of all time, most testosterone fueled thing of all time. Frankie says, because people have seen my skills and they let me come in. I don't work on a lot of the movie. I just get to work on some bits because they know how my skills, because I know a lot about filmmaking. If you have somewhere you can contact me, I would love to be able to get to talk to you about some of the stuff about the Batman 2, so I can then brag to people, say, I have a man on the inside that actually that's working on the Batman 2. I wouldn't be spoiling anything, but it would mean that I actually get to be special for once, something that I never am. Film Kid says, that's why I changed my top 4, is because I don't want a generic top 4. So I want myself a generic top 4 that's actually right, instead of a wrong top 4 that is not right. That got heated fast, but I think I'm gonna wrap this thing up. So guys, I'll allow you guys to put in a little bit more, but other than that, I think I'm about to leave. So before I end this thing, heads or tails? Film Kid, heads or tails? Please say the one that's gonna lose. Please say the one that's gonna lose. Please say the one that's gonna lose. Hasa, Predator might have a lot of testosterone, but it does not try to tell a great story. Yeah, it does. Frankie, I would contact you, but my parents are very funny with who I can chat to online. Only 2 people on YouTube have I got their phone number. I don't mean with a text number. I just mean on like something like, if I ever do get Instagram, then something like Instagram, I could talk to you with Facebook, all that stuff. Oh, there goes that. There's my pen. Hostas says heads, and so does Film Kid. So here we go. Oh, please be Tails. Please be Tails. Oh, come on! It was Tails. Suckers. Godzilla, have you seen Interstellar yet? No, Interstellar is the only Nolan film I have not seen besides Inception. I've started Inception, and so far I think it's very overrated. So far, I've gone like 20 to 30 minutes in. So far, it's not even close to my favorites. It's like I think right now I prefer Oppenheimer, The Prestige, The Dark Knight, Batman Begins, all of those to Inception. Frankie, to be honest, I'm not really excited to work on their Fantastic Four film because I'm not a big fan of the movies. Oh man, the movies are horrible. But dude, if I ever do get Instagram and you get Instagram, I would love to chat to you about that so I can still brag to people. I still technically can brag to people that I know someone that's working on the Batman too. Thank you, Frankie, for giving me the reputation of a lifetime, even if it is a very weird reputation, but still. But thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for being here. And I think I'm going to wrap this thing up. And it was great to be having your support here. Happy. So dang happy I hit 650 subs. Hopefully soon we're getting my hopefully soon we're getting my celebration for my 1,000 subscriber special. I'm if I get to 800 soon enough, I'm gonna just completely start the Planet of the Apes franchise because I know for a fact something like because I know for a fact something like Dawn is going to be my favorites of all time. Rise and War have a good chance, but I'm really hoping to. And before we have Frankie saying, I just gave you a shout out. Much appreciated, man. Thank you. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a good one.